All right, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who want to see the posing routine, that's the last 2 minutes of the video. So if y'all want to skip ahead to that to see that, you can. And for those of you who want to check out the rest of the content, we appreciate you watching. Today, we're going to talk about fatigue and exhaustion because I am so exhausted and fatigued. Like my diet is coming to an end because next week is the last week of my diet. So it's in full rev right now. Well, when I say full rev, I mean it's at an all-time low. I'm getting around like 2,300 calories a day, which is incredibly low for me. And my body is just extremely exhausted. I could feel the fatigue with everything I do. Every single thing feels heavy. Cardio is very difficult. Weightlifting is very difficult. Mentally, it's difficult. Everything is very hard right now at this point because I dropped my calories last weekend for the last 2 weeks of this to get down, because when I started this, I was actually going off of the weight that I was before I took my last deload week, which was 231. So I wanted to lose at least 10 to 11 pounds over the 12 weeks. And as of this morning, I was 223. So I have 2 more pounds to go to be 10 pounds from the beginning of the 12 weeks. So I kind of revved it up, but in exchange, it kind of came back at me and it's affected me with my energy and my workouts. So I only have one more week of this after this week, and then I can start bringing my calories back up, because the goal is to get abs by the end of the year, but I'm not going to drop my calories to a point to get the weight down faster and have horrible workouts. I'd rather take a lot longer to get the weight down to get my abs and enjoy my workouts and have a lot more fun and not feel this incredibly exhausted and fatigued. And honestly, I'm still too fat and gross to feel this fatigued and exhausted at this body fat, but it's just the way it is. When you start going into a big enough deficit, you really just start feeling drained, and you're feeling pretty drained too, right?
Yeah, the fatigue is definitely a real thing. Because like for me, my food has changed very little throughout the 11 weeks so far, but I think just overall it's starting to catch up to me with like the weight loss, because from the start to now I'm down roughly like 30 to 35 pounds, somewhere around there, which is a good amount of weight. But for how big I was or whatever, I'd still have plenty I can lose. But I have noticed though that these last like week or two, it's starting to become a lot more apparent for like my fatigue and soreness, like my recovery on things. So like typically before, like I would be sore, but my soreness would be very mild and last like maybe a day, maybe half a day. By the next time we worked out, like I'd be good again. But now I'm starting to have like the soreness feelings and the muscles and the aches and stuff. They're lasting for like days. Like by the time we get around to the next exercise or next time we're working out in that week, like I'm still sore from the previous workout kind of thing, and it's just something that's kind of taking its toll on me as well.
Yeah, right now for me, it's I'm very flat. I have no, like, I have vascularity. My veins are still coming out to an extent, but I'm very flat. My muscles are deflated. Everything looks soft. Everything feels soft. I can't. It's very difficult to get a pump, and then when I do get a pump, it goes away very very fast. Like tonight with the posing, um, you'll see at the end of the video that like I'm just looking flat. Everything's just deflated and looking flat now. Come Sunday, I get carbs Sunday. So most of my calories on Sunday, I rev my carbs up throughout the week. My carbs are very low. Then Sunday, I get a ton of carbohydrates. So come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm full. My muscle bellies are full of glucose. They're looking good. They're pumped up. I can hold a pump, maintain a pump. But come the end of the week, I'm just deflated. And that's part of this. And I understand it's part of it. This is the more difficult part, being deflated, feeling exhausted. But I'm just to the point now where this is pretty much 6 months that I've been doing this, and I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm ready to start trying to bulk back up and put size on, but not like body fat. Like I want to start gearing more towards putting muscle mass back on and not so much losing weight. But I told myself that I want to have my abs by the end of the year, so I got 2 more months after October to obtain my abs. So it's just like maybe I could go into like a maintenance thing where I increase my calories enough where I'm having really great workouts, without putting on any body fat, and then maybe just slowly lose another 1 or 2 pounds, maybe 3 or 4 the rest of the year. And that might put me right there. But in reality, I know I have a lot more fat. I probably still got about like 15 pounds of fat I have to lose. And realistically, to be able to get to where I want to be by the end of the year, I'm going to have to be on a strict diet the rest of the year. And the holidays are coming up. I think Halloween's coming up, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I don't want to be so restricted that time of the year when it comes to having time with my family and being off of work and everything. So it's just one of those things that my mindset's going to shift just a little bit. And maybe I might start leaning in towards a bulk. And if I do bulk, I'll probably bulk for 5 months. And then not excessively to put on an excess amount of weight, but just to try to put a couple pounds on, maybe a pound a month, maybe a pound and a half a month until maybe the end of March. And then April, I can start leaning back out again and be leaner, way leaner than I was, obviously, than when I started this, and be able to bring the weight down again faster and look harder or whatever. So I'll just see how it goes, man. Like I said, I'm just in an exhausted state of mind right now, man. I'm just so tired and so fatigued.
Yeah, so like going on like even for me like a small little mini bulk, doing like 4 weeks or maybe a little more of increasing the calories and like picking up on the intensity of the workout from having the extra energy from like the food and stuff like that. I think that'll even benefit me as well. Like even though I still have a good bit to lose, like I don't think I'm speeding up the process any by just continuously cutting back from where I at. Like I think if I pick it up like calorie wise some and bring my intake up, my energy levels up, when I go to cut back again, I'll be able to start at a higher level and be losing weight again. So it'll give me some room to kind of work my way back down without being at such a drastic like low for like calorie intake like I am right now. So that'll be a definite positive for doing, at least for, like we're talking about earlier, like at least a mini bulk kind of thing for me.
Yeah, picking the metabolism back up and giving the body something that it hasn't had in a minute without going overboard actually does help out. It's like when you get a cheat meal, like when I say cheat meal, I don't mean like going out and splurging and eating horrible food, but like on a Sunday, if you increase like your meat and rice and you get excessive amount of meat and rice and pick up your calories to an extent, like a lot of times your stomach will actually end up looking flatter and looking better. But that's when you get to a certain point in your diet that you can do that. And that's another tool that you can do to be able to pick your metabolism up and everything. But that's like more advanced dieting and tricks and everything else. But right now I'm still too far out in my body composition of where I want to be to really want to start going into a heavy bulk. Like right now I'm just kind of torn because I want to get lean enough where I can be ready for a show in 12 weeks, and I'm not there yet because I still have so much body fat to go. But then at the same time, like I'm just getting to a point where like 6 months straight of dieting is just, because I mean, this has been a straight 6 months of dieting. I worked out for 12 weeks, took a week on a deload, and now it's been another 12 weeks of just straight rigorous dieting, and I look way better than I did. Like I'm not complaining or upset about the way I look. I made like leaps in stride, but I was kidding myself in the beginning when I thought that maybe by September, October, I would have at least my 4 abs visibly showing completely out, because I didn't realize exactly how much fat my body was storing in all these little places and pockets. I was delusional thinking that I was leaner than I really was, whenever now a hard kick to the face, to the teeth, should I say, of life and reality being like, hey, you're still really fat and you still got a long ways to go. And when I say I'm fat, I don't mean I'm fat in the terms of like I'm morbidly obese or compared to other people I'm fat. What I mean is compared to being ready for competition and to compete in bodybuilding, I'm still extremely overweight and fat for my body mass of where I need to be with my percentage. And I know that I have plenty of time because I'm not planning on competing until late next year. So if I decide to bulk from November to March, that'll still give me quite a few months to cut before the competition, especially being leaner, way leaner than I was whenever I originally went into this at 260, 263, coming in at like 225, 228. If I go up to about 228, 230, I won't have nearly as much to cut back in 12 weeks. And like I said, from there, I'll be carrying more muscle mass too.
Yeah, like for me, I'm still very much in that like obese range. So like I still have a good bit to cut, but again, like I said, increasing my calories some and kind of restarting the the area where I start cutting back to lose weight again, I think that's just going to be beneficial overall to kind of keep the energy levels up again, like on the next go around of cutting and stuff. So like I'll kind of just teeter totter it back and forth, but like my journey's still like a long one, and I don't really have like a set goal in mind of like competing or anything like that, but just more along the lines of eventually getting to a certain like weight and look that I'm hoping for. But it's gonna be a while before that finally reaches its pinnacle and everything. So as long as I'm just kind of maintaining what I'm doing, keeping myself going in the right direction, not overdoing my intake of calories with like junk foods and those different kind of things, I think I'm gonna do all right. Like I have a lot to, like I said, still keep getting better at, but I think I'm still making good progress.
Yeah, that's going to be it for me on this one, man. So I'm done. I'm checked out on this one. Is there anything else you want to add? Are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, hey guys, thanks for watching and tuning in and checking us out. If you'd like to leave a like on the video, we appreciate it. If you made it this far in the video and you're continuously watching us, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, we appreciate it. And until next time, we will see you then.
Yeah, catch you later.